we have a pretty fun video today. So I've been in a really big crochet slump for a while. I haven't finished any projects in so long and I have so many whips just lying around. I decided to go through all of my acrylic yarns. I only really use cotton yarn when I make clothes, and I just make clothes now. Literally so much acrylic yarns. My goal is to use all of them. I don't know how I'm gonna use them all, but that is my goal. I have like DK weight 4mm hook yarn. I've got some fixed yarn. I've got like 7 balls of this weird pesto yarn. I have so much white, and at one point I made cakes. I have another one somewhere. Anyway, I made cakes of scrap yarn. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I have this like weird like plushy yarn that I wanted to make like amigurumi with, but it's the wrong yarn, so I did nothing with it. I also have this weird like thick chunky yarn which I bought literally years ago, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. A couple sparkly acrylic yarns. I don't know why I bought it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Oh, and my favorite is this faux fur pink yarn. I have every color under the rainbow. Oh, let's not forget this. This is like, it looks cool, but it like goes from really thin to really thick. Again, I don't know why I bought it. I also have this interesting yarn and some projects that I started and ran out of yarn. Here's the other cake. I wrote down a list of the crochet projects I want to make only using this array of yarn. And I call it scrap yarn because some of it is scrap yarn, but a lot of it is new skeins of yarn that I've never actually used. I actually have a lot of new skeins. That's actually bad. Oh my gosh, I have so many. Oh, I've got this multicolor. Ooh. Actually, I'm really excited. I already know what I want to make first, but before I begin, I want to show you what I made with all of my previous scrap yarn. So if you think this is a lot of yarn, wait until you see what I made last year with my scrap yarn. This used to be double the size, but just wait. The iconic crochet daisy blanket. I'm sure you've seen so many of these on Pinterest, Instagram. It is so big, it will not fit in the frame, but I'll take a video, close-up video, so you can see it in all its glory. Let me show you my ideas. I'm gonna put it on the screen while I look at my iPad. And some of the ideas I have mostly like small things. Like I want to make a bucket hat. I want to make one with like all sorts of different types of yarn. I want to use my sparkle yarn and like double up some yarns. I want to use the fluffy yarn, this weird plushy yarn, and talking about weird combination, I also want to make like a tote bag, but for my crochet projects, like a project bag. And I want to make it like really nasty, like real just rank looking. Like these ones look cool, but I want to make it like it's falling apart, but it's not. I've never made a bonnet, and I have the urge to because all the cool girls have a bonnet, so I want a bonnet. And I also want to make a granny square sweater. I like the idea of doing like just square, like this t-shirt, square square square, and also doing like a big square. So like maybe one side square 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 square, the back big square, make it reversible. Ooh, I quite like that. And then I also want to do like cool textures with different yarn, like with this yarn to do like stitching in between the squares. I might do a part 2 and make all the granny squares for the sweater and for the pillowcase in the same video. So if you want to see that as a different video, like part 2 of using only scrap yarn, let me know. But yeah, I'm going to start with a hat. I'm going to make a real ratchet looking hat. I'm going to compile a combination of yarns, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to use, and then I'm going to start. As I was laying all my yarn on the bed getting ready to crochet, I decided not to use the bright pink because it made it look too playful. I mean, the whole thing is playful, but not the vibe I wanted. So I switched it, and I switched the pink for this darker blue. And this is the lineup. You know what? Because I picked this one last, I'm going to start with this one for the magic circle. So this is what we are at, and this blue row I did in the back loops only so I can start going down, and I stopped doing my increases, so hopefully I didn't make it too big. I decided I want to undo it all up until this point because I only want to do blues and greens because I like how this looks, and I think the pinks and the orange ruin it. I'm also going to make it one row smaller. So that's my update. So I've decided to use this color, this yarn as well. I have another update. I'm restarting and I'm doing a magic circle with 6 single crochets instead of 8. And I'm gonna do 6 rows instead of 8. Is done, and now we could go to the beach. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna wrap it up there and do my next 2 projects in the next 2 videos. So if you want to see that, then make sure you like and subscribe. And in the next videos I'm gonna do the bag, scrap yarn bag, and then scrap yarn sweater. Make sure to follow me on Instagram so you can see my photos. Bye!